Today, at our coaching table, ladies and gentlemen, we have another tier 3 Discord sub. And her name is Ree. She's a Platinum 3 player right now. And she's playing Reyna and Jett. In this VOD review, we're going to do Reyna on Fracture. I apologize, because this is going on the second YouTube channel. I sound very tired. I am tired. I am dying. I did 4 VOD reviews, 2 coaching sessions, and my brain cells are at 0%. But, you know, work needs to be done. Work needs to be done. Hello, I'm a Platinum 2 player who mains duelists mostly, Reyna and Jett. I feel like I need to work on multiple areas, and I was hoping that a VOD review can help point out what I need to work on. Great. Great, you're already one step ahead of everyone else by getting the VOD review. Now, her name is Boomery, #char. She's from... Is this Poland or Monaco? I don't know, man. I'm so bad with the flags. Okay, this act... let's actually check the last act. Actually, she's not playing that much anyways. So this act, she played 19 matches. Not that much, to be honest, like to rank up. Like, definitely you need to boost, you know, a bit of the games that you're playing on this account. 100%. That is Indonesia. I'm gonna get flamed so hard. Sorry guys, I'm so bad with the flags. Like, I know like only 90% of European flags, and that's it. Okay, so her win rate is 55%, which is really good. Headshot percentage really good for the Platinum 3 player. KD really good. ADR very good. But her performance with the Jett is really shit. I don't know, why would you submit a Reyna VOD if you already suck at playing the Jett? Like, problem with when you're maining the Reyna after the Platinum Elo, like essentially like it's hard carrying solo the matches with Reyna. Like, why do I prefer Jett over the Reyna after Platinum 1? Because Jett is a much more adaptive character. With Jett, essentially, like, you can play many different scenarios to much higher levels than you're able to play them with a Reyna. And that is the problem. Like, with Reyna, you can have 1.4 KD and still lose your games. Because if you end up in a clutch scenarios, in a scenarios where utility is very important, you're obviously going to lose that match. Like, essentially, with Reyna, like, you know, first of all, you need to pay attention on how you're using your dismisses and heals, obviously. And you need to pay attention on how you're using, like, your flashes. But other than that, like, you know, everything is about angle clearing, playing the refrag potential, picking up the duels that work in your favor, and essentially that's it. Like, it's not a really big brain character. It's more of a character, like, where you need to decide whether or not you want to pick a certain duel with the enemies, and how you want to pick that specific duel with the enemies. Like, essentially, there is multiple ways how you can create the gunfights to work in your favor, and, you know, with Reyna, like, positioning, movement, crosshair placement are everything. Like, if you don't have good positioning, movement, and crosshair placement, you're fucked playing Reyna after Platinum 1. With Jett, like, Jett is a very forgiving agent. Like, you can make a lot of the mistakes and still get away with those mistakes. And that is why I prefer, you know, Jett over the Reyna. Like, I just feel Jett is S+ tier character for solo queue. I put Reyna in the D tier, in the lowest tier, on my solo queue list. But only because every single other duelist is 10 times more useful than Reyna in a team environment. And also in the ranked solo queue as well. Like, with Reyna, if you're having a bad day, actually you know, that's it, GG. But with Jett, if you're having a bad day actually has you. Think about it. Think about it for a second. So, now, when it comes to the weapons that you're using, like, fine. I mean, Vandal primarily, you know. One thing that I can immediately recommend you to do is don't switch too much between the Vandal and Phantom. Like, try to prioritize one gun with which you are performing better, and just stick to that weapon. Like, this is a huge inconsistency problem in your gameplay, where if every single round you're switching between a Vandal or Phantom, or on every single map you're switching between Vandal and Phantom, like, that is a huge inconsistency in your aiming style, shooting techniques, and various different, you know, problems that can develop for you. Like, based on these statistics right here, I mean, with Vandal you are, I mean, around 40% better than with the Phantom. Why the fuck would you play Phantom if you have 35% headshot ratio with Vandal, 143 ADR? Doesn't make any sense. Just stick with the Vandal. Like, Vandal is better for you, end of the story. Would you say that she is the strongest in a 1 versus 1 duels? No. I think the strongest duelist in a 1 versus 1 duels are actually Phoenix and Yoru, because of the flashes. Like, their flashes are OP, basically. Like, much better than Reyna flash, much better than smokes and dash ability of the Jet. Like, if you're in a 1 versus 1 duel against the Phoenix, you really need to pay attention how you're positioning yourself and how you're moving around the specific area of the map. No, we're talking only about the duelists. We're not talking about initiators. Like, when it comes to the duelist, the best duelist to pick 1v1 gunfights is either Phoenix or Yoru. I would say Phoenix, because his flashes are really OP. Really, really good. Now, when it comes to your primary eco and anti-eco weapons, I mean, Bulldog and Spectre are completely fine. You know, like, I have no problems there. And I see that in pistol rounds, you're having a lot of the problems. Like, in pistol rounds, you're finding a very low impact, but that is probably because you don't have any good strategies for a pistol rounds. And you know, when it comes to the pistol rounds, you need to have a really, really good map knowledge. Like, map knowledge is very important. Like, to understand what is the best way to play the pistol round, what is your job, what you should do on every single map, in order to have a bit higher win rate on the pistol rounds. And in pistol rounds, if you're playing Sheriff, we're kind of fucked. Like, it is stupid. Even with Reyna, I would not play Sheriff in the pistol rounds. Like, Ghost just gives you much higher adaptiveness as a player, and I would always go with the Ghost over the Sheriff on almost every single map except maybe Icebox or, let's say, Breeze, like, for an example. Everything else is fine. Finzo, nothing to worry about. Her performance, she started in Iron 3. Iron 3? Not bad. No, consistent improvement all the way to Platinum. All the way to Platinum. And then in Platinum something happened, huh? But to be honest, like, in Platinum you didn't play that much. Like, here you grinded 80 hours and now 20, 30, 12. Like, I just feel that you're missing the hours in the game, like in the ranked environment. Like, you have 1,100 hours of a total play time, and in ranked you play 244 hours. Like, did you spend 800 hours in the Swift play and unrated? I mean, how can you expect to have improvement in a ranked environment if you're not playing ranked at the end of the day? Like, put in the hours, don't be scared. You know, what are you afraid of? That these estrogenic males are gonna flame you in the solo queue environment. They flame you because you're a woman, you just slap them, bro. Kill them in game. So, play more ranked solo queue. Don't be afraid to do that. Maps. Pearl is the... I mean, this is not... You know, this doesn't show anything. Like, to be honest, like, she has like 19 matches. Like, in this act, like 20 matches. You know? I mean, when it comes to the Jet and Reyna, you know on which map I would play Reyna? On Fracture, I would play Reyna. If you're already choosing between the Jet and Reyna. I would only play Reyna on Fracture, Ascent, maybe Lotus. On Lotus, Reyna is better than Jet in my opinion. Like, on other maps, like, Jet is just much better. Like, on Split, you can easily carry every single match with a Jet, and I would just be maining the Jet. On Pearl, Jet is much better than Reyna. On Bind, Jet is much better than Reyna. Like, I don't know, like, if I was you, I would stay away from the Reyna, and only on Ascent, Fracture, and maybe in Lotus, I would be playing the Reyna. Because on Fracture, why don't I value the Jet so much on the Fracture? Because executes on Fracture, borderline don't exist. I mean, the bomb sites are so close to the choke points on Fracture that there's no executes, you know? They are, baba, Wolf stream, baby. So essentially, you know, like on Fracture, Reyna is borderline even better. Like, you know, I mean, obviously Jet with the operator is a nightmare on a defender's side, but still, I don't know. You know, Reyna is fine. Okay, let's see this VOD and let's see what the hell she is doing wrong. So, first round on the attacker side. Chat, is the sheriff thing coming in the first round? Bro, if she buys the sheriff, already insta mistake. Very good. Very good. The only problem is, like, with Reyna... Just a second, boys. I need to drop my bubblegum. On the Reyna in the first round, on the attacker side, you always want to prioritize the Leer over the Devour. Because pistols take too much bullet to actually destroy the Leer, to destroy the Flash. And Flash is maybe the most powerful when the enemies are playing eco rounds, pistol rounds, etc. Like, I would always buy the Leer in the first round on the attacker side over the Devour. And on a defender side, I would buy the Devour over the Leer in the first round. So basically, in the first round of Fracture, how would I play the first round of Fracture with Reyna and what I would do? So basically on Fracture, as you already know, boys, like, the primary two areas of the maps that you want to abuse on the attacker side are the arcade area of the map and the A main area of the map. Like, these two positions are the easiest for you to actually push, and once you take the control of this and control of this, you put enormous amount of pressure onto the enemies on both A site and B site. And executing B site and A site is 10 times easier at that moment of time. Like, essentially, people in solo queue just need to realize that when you're pushing B, this is not your main area of the map. Like, this doesn't exist for you. Like, it is 20% harder to execute the B through the B main choke point than executing the B side through the arcade. So whenever you're doing some kind of a split or some kind of a pushes on B, majority of the players with a spike should be going through the arcade and not through the B main area of the map. So essentially, in B main area of the map, I would always send like 1 or 2 of my teammates, and in arcade like 3 to 5 of my teammates. Now, this area of the map also I consider as a lurking area of the map. Like, very rarely I'm gonna execute the aces through the dish. Basically, these two positions, like, maybe you can abuse in some kind of an eco rounds, halba rounds when, you know, you have a low economy. And arcade and A main area of the map you should primarily abuse when you have the economy advantage or you have the equal economy compared to the enemies. So, with this being said, what is the best strategy in the first round on Fracture? So the best strategy on Fracture is 3 times in a row, pushing the B site, primarily through the arcade area of the map. Now, what you want to do in the first round, like, you always want to tell your teammates, hey guys, let's go arcade as 5, and let's push the B side through arcade. You don't need the B main area of the map. So in the first 3 rounds, what I will always emphasize to my teammates is to do the arcade push and to pressure the enemies on arcade. If you push the arcade 3 times in a row, you will apply enormous amount of mental pressure onto the enemies, and essentially then in the 4th and 5th round, you become much more unpredictable. Like, you damage the enemy's mentality in the arcade, regardless of the outcome of these rounds. Like, even if you lose all 3 rounds, in the 4th round it's gonna be easier for you to fake the push on B and to end up on A. Or to fake something, or to maybe again push the arcade. Like, who the fuck is gonna expect you pushing arcade 4 times in a row? Arcade is the easiest solution for you on Fracture. Like, if nothing is working, like, just go arcade. Or pressure the A main area of the map. Now, in the first round, basically you just want to tell your teammates, hey guys, let's go 5 arcade, and let's push into the A side. Like, your smokers should be giving you the smokes here and here. And basically, like, you know, you should have like 4 to 5 teammates in the arcade and 0 to 1 teammates into the B main area of the map. Like, maybe you can have one guy that is lurking through here and trying to pick a late timing and late flank onto the enemies and try to surprise them through the B main area of the map. And with Reyna, what I would do, I would buy either a classic light shield with Leer, I would buy a frenzy with a Leer, or I'm gonna go with a ghost 10 Lear. But to be honest, with Reyna, like, I feel that it is better to just go with a Ghost and fuck it. You know, like, because you cannot close the gap with the enemies effectively as you can do that, like, with a, I don't know, Jet or Omen, for an example. So go with a Ghost and Lear. And we're pushing here, pushing. We're jump spotting the enemies here. I would definitely do my Lear when I'm entering the site there. So basically, I would clear this with my teammates, clear this, do the Lear up here, enter the site, clear the tower from the bomb site, and push into the tower from that position and that position together with my teammates. Try this strategy in the first round. It is better than prioritizing the push to the B main area of the map or splitting the A site or pushing the A site in the first round. Like, the amount of mistakes that your teammates can make is very limited, and playing the post plant on the B site is, statistically speaking, easier than playing the post plant on the A site, because your teammates can pick multiple different ways how they can play the post plant on B. On A, usually what your teammates are going to do, they're going to get stuck on the site, or they're going to get stuck in the A main area of the map. And it's going to be easier for the enemies to actually retake the bomb site. Now, let's see what she is doing. Are we going to hear any comms? Nah. She's scared to talk, huh? Fucking Valorant community, man. Like, I despise it, man. I despise it, literally. Like, you open a voice chat as a woman, it's already GG. I don't know, you use the fucking voice changer, like I don't know, like, pretend that you're Omen IRL and be like,
you know, hey guys, let's push the 5-man arcade.
I don't know, man, like, literally, like. Oh, she's calling for it. She's calling for it. They're going arcade, 5-man arcade. Let's go. Let's see it. Just in the first round. Charlatan is dying. Just in the first round, I would prioritize the Lear over the Devour. Like, I really feel that the Lear is extremely powerful in the first round to take an easy kill onto the enemies and to open the bomb site. Like, and to basically flash the enemies and cover every single angle, and it's really hard to destroy the Lear with the pistols. Okay, let's see it.
Hola.
I have 200 hours in the game, and it's been less than 10 games of sexism for me, I think. But that's not very small amount. That's not really a small amount. Okay. Insta mistake. Like, in the first round, you never want to go on tower. Like, basically, in the first round, and in every single round where the enemies have the lower economy than you have, always prioritize taking the tower control from the actual bomb site. Like, tower is like a death trap, basically. Like, you never know when Cringe Charlatan is playing a classic pistol shorty here, when Cypher is waiting for you with some kind of a tripwire here, and, you know, he's waiting for you there to take an easy kill. I've seen that type of a setup enormous amount of times in Radiant. You know, like, basically, it is better to push the tower together with your teammates from the bomb site than pushing the tower immediately from the ropes. Also, how you take the ropes, that is very important. Like, I really hope that right now I'm gonna see this. If I see that, muy bien. Okay.
Spike down B.
I have the spike.
Nice kill. This is another reason why in the first round I would actually push onto the bomb site. Like, I want to be the one leading the charge into the site in the first round. If you're not leading the charge and opening the site for your teammates, like, this is going to happen quite a lot of the times. Like, your teammates will die from some kind of a stupid, you know, in some kind of a stupid gunfight, and it is better for you to just take the site control first and then get the tower control. And this is also why Lear is just better in the first round. I mean, like, if in this round, if you just push with your teammates like this, I mean, bam, 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 bam. Like, you know, it's easier for you to control the outcome of the round. Yo, Smirky, brother, man. Man, Smirky, we already did that giveaway, but thank you a lot, man. Thank you a lot, bro. Like, I'm dying. I had like four VOD reviews today. I would be yelling right now hard, but I cannot.
Last player standing. Spike down B.
I have the spike.
That's another giveaway, right? Listen, guys, like, I owe you 8 more giveaways. I'm gonna do 8 giveaways in the next 2 weeks. So every second stream you will get 1 giveaway. No worries, no worries. I'm gonna pay out. I'm gonna pay out. You know what? You know what is very problematic here, like in this like VOD review, like your visual intake of information is really bad. Like I think that you are not visualizing the enemies good enough, and I don't know how did you miss that harbor, like on that position down there. Like, that harbor was literally there fighting your teammates, and you completely ignored him.
Last player standing.
Interesting. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen in the next round. Like, I cannot take anything from this round. Like, first of all, I feel that red outlines are really the worst outlines in the game. I really feel that yellow outlines are poggers. Like, yellow outlines are the most visible in most areas of the maps. And, you know, majority of the pro players, majority of the community is using the yellow because yellow is the most distinctive color in the game. Purple and red, I don't know. For example, when I'm playing on a purple and red outlines, my reaction time is slower by 20%. Because I cannot intake the information in real time where the enemies are. I mean, imagine if she had a yellow outline right here. There is no way, you know, like, there is no way that you're missing this guy. Like, look at him down there. Like, my G from India is hiding there, brother. Like, you know, she's waiting to be killed.
Last player standing.
Okay. Personally, like, I feel that the push was not bad. Push was actually good by your teammates, but in the first round, really try to focus on supporting your teammates on the site and taking the site control, and then focus yourself on taking the arcade. Because if you do this type of a strategy, like, you know, your teammates might be dying from the smoke, from the bomb site, from the B main area of the map, and you are the one who should be aware of this. Like, we need to have that Lear in an open area of the map here, flashing all of this, and completely blinding the enemies on the site and taking easy kills on the bomb site. That is why sometimes I also buy the Frenzy, even if I'm playing Reyna on Pearl, like on Fracture, because your primary goal is to close the gap with the enemies as fast as you can. Focus on the site, then focus on the tower. And this allows your teammates to die in some kind of a stupid fights like this. In the second round, repeat the same shit. Like, basically, even if you lose the first round, like, push the second round on arcade again. And whenever you are in the economy disadvantage, primarily fight for the tower and then push the bomb site. So in this round, what I would do is just, you know, maybe purchase a shorty, or since you're playing Reyna, don't purchase anything. Like, just purchase a Lear, push here, jump spot the enemies, do the Lear there, cross this area of the map, clear this angle, triple click, triple click, triple click, triple click. Rely on the RNG, try to take the tower control, and from the tower, try to apply the pressure onto the enemies. Third round, I'll push on the arcade again. Why does this make sense in Valorant ranked solo queue? Because you're applying mental pressure on solo queue players. Like, through the next 4, 5, 6 rounds, they're consistently gonna be aware that you love to pressure them through the arcade. And then in the 4th round, you can do some kind of a fake and maybe take the A side for, you know, for free, basically. Anyways, like, you know, like on the attacker side in these low buy rounds, I feel that on Fracture, you will have a much higher win rate if you're just playing together. If you're disallowing your teammates to pick individual gunfights. Because on Fracture, it is really hard to close the gap with the enemies in all of these positions. And if you're just letting your teammates to play some kind of a default, it's not gonna do it. Like, I feel that it's better to just push something as 5, like, if not arcade, push dish, I don't know, like push A main. The only area of the map I would avoid in low buy rounds is B main. To avoid that longer range of the fight. Okay. Once again, I would buy the Lear for this round because, you know, we have money. In the next round we can play. Right, we have money for the Lear. Am I missing something? Yeah, we have money for a Lear. I buy a Lear because maybe I'm gonna kill one enemy, overheal myself, take his gun, flash the enemies in the sight, push the sight. Like, it's good to have it. You know, if you already have money for it, and you have money for the Vandal and Heavy Shield in the next round, just buy the Lear. Okay. Enemies are either stream sniping us or cheating. But this is why, like, you know, this pattern of pushing is never good in solo queue. Like, basically, the most predictable pattern of pushing is something that I call A-B pattern of pushing. Like, essentially, that is a big no-no. Big no-no. Like, essentially, you know, if you push the enemies in one round, in one area of the map, and enemies demolish you on that site, my primary way of thinking would be that you're gonna push the opposite part of the map in the next round. And that is why, just on Fracture as a map, like, it seriously doesn't matter which pattern of pushing you're abusing, because both A-main and arcade area of the map are very easy to be taken. Like, and it doesn't matter if you're playing an eco round, half by round, whatever economy you have, you can take the arcade and you can take the B-main control, A-main control. You see, right now, that Lear would have been great. Like, right now, she could have popped the Lear, take an easy kill on the Jet, and whoever the hell is in that A-main area of the map, and that utility could have been useful. If you have money for utility, afford the utility, whenever you can do that. Very good, Devour. Okay. Okay. Not bad. Very good bonus eco round. I mean, we damaged the enemy's economy quite a lot. I like it. Guys, am I missing something here? Or I'm just mentally ill? How are we playing Stinger in this 3rd round? What? Listen, guys. Listen. I know that in this round, enemies don't have a good economy to afford the good weapons. But if you lose the 1st round, you lose the 2nd round. In a 3rd round, I don't give a shit what my teammates are doing. I'm playing Vandal with a heavy shield, and I'm winning that 3rd round. I'm not risking the round based on the enemy's economy, and based on what my stupid teammates are doing, and based on anything. Like you win, you lose the first round, you lose the second round, you save the money for the third round. In the third round, you're full buy. End of the story. Like if your teammates are doing this, you don't give a shit. Like you are playing this round to your absolutely highest capabilities, and you're trying to win it no matter what. Like why did we save in the second round if in this round I'm gonna save again? Play a half buy. Like maybe enemies right now will buy the light shields and vandals, heavy shields and judges, heavy shields and I don't know, specters. Like why would I lose the third round because of my economy? That doesn't make any sense. In this round, this is a huge economy mistake. Like even if your teammates are saving in this round, fuck it. Just buy. Do you think it's fine to play your own economy and buying for yourself whenever you can, ignore your teammates' economy? No. I would follow my teammates' economy during the game. You know, like whatever my teammates want to do, I'll try to follow their economy as best as I can. But in the first 3 rounds, I'm not going to lose the third round because my teammates decided to go for the light buy here. Like I'm going to buy the Vandal Heavy Shield and I'm going to carry the shit out of this round. Like there is no way I'm going to lose the third round because I'm saving for what? For the fourth round? And then in the fourth round, again, I'm going to play what? Stingers? Come on. Like in the first 3 rounds, I always follow the general basic rules of Valorant economy. You win the first round. In the second round, you always force buy. In the third round, you're playing a bonus. In the fourth round, you're playing a full buy. In the first round, if I won it and I have a sheriff, I'm going to stay with the sheriff. And I'm going to play third round as a bonus. And in the fourth round, I'm going to full buy. If I lose the first round and I plant the spike, we can force, but we don't need to, on both attackers and defenders side. And if I lose the first round, you know, like in the second round, I'll try to, you know, we're playing save round, and in the third round, it's the full buy round. Like this is such a stupid decision. Like not only from you, like from your teammates in general. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like in this round, heavy shield vandals and let's go, boys. Let's win it. Like never sacrifice the outcome of your rounds because of the economy. Never do that. Like in this round, full buy.
One suppressed. Time to jump. Holy smoke.
Still in sight. Cutting the vision.
So okay, these layers were pretty fine. You know, not bad. The push through this B main area of the map was actually really good. I like it a lot. That you know, like whenever you're pushing through the B main area of the map, you always want to push from the right side here and choose this type of a pathing, get to this position, and from this position you're performing a fast swing onto the enemies or jiggle picking the enemies on this and this position here. And then when you're entering the site with the Reyna, I would also do the leer up in the air here, and probably the second leer I would also do somewhere here, so I'm also blocking the vision of the enemy that is playing there. So this was not bad.
Time to jump. Holy smoke.
Still in sight. Cutting the vision.
The only better thing that I would do with this second leer, like the whole purpose of the second leer is not flashing the enemies, you know, here. It is flashing the enemy onto the tower. So I would always use my second leer like this, so that I'm flashing the enemy here, and I'm also flashing the enemies that are potentially gonna peek me from the tower. But also this leer completely blinds the enemies on the site as well, from the gen and from the canteen. So, you know, second leer should always go here, bam, entering the site.
Stim beacon here.
And whenever you're pushing the B set of Fracture only through the B main area of the map, like, your primary focus should always be taking the tower control. Like, when I'm going through this area of the map, site,
My ult ready.
tower, and that's it. And then I'm clearing the arcade. Like, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And, you know, in this post plant right here, the only thing I would do a bit better is position yourself based on how your teammates are playing and which gun you have. Like, with a Stinger, you know, from the tower, yes, you can kill the enemies with the ADS and with the burst fire, but theoretically speaking, like, you will have much better impact if you played around the generator maybe, or around the canteen. Like, in this round, I would definitely try to use the smokes of my teammates here and here, and I'll just play in this area of the map. Like this. Just to abuse the, you know, this close range weapon. Like, Stinger is a great weapon still, and maybe the best eco weapon in the game, but you need to consistently position yourself in a medium and close range gunfight with the enemies. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, ADS of the Stinger is very powerful. Like, with 2 ADSs, you can delete the enemies, even on 50 plus meters. And that is the main benefit between the Stinger and Spectre. But still, you know, like, if I already have a smoke here, and a smoke here,
Cutting their vision.
you know, use them.
Ultimate is ready.
I like the play from the harbor. Ooh, that was nasty. In this range here, like, whenever you're 15 plus meters away from the enemies, you always want to use the ADS on the Stinger. But always, the burst fire is much better than using the automatic fire. Like, automatic fire on this range is impossible to control.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, this is another mistake. This is a shooting technique mistake. So basically, the burst fire of the Stinger actually has a spray pattern. Believe it or not, actually has a consistent spray pattern. So what is the spray pattern? The burst fire always goes up left. Always. Look at this. Up left, up left, up left, up left. And essentially, when you're burst firing with the Stinger, already after the first bullet, you want to pull your mouse down right. And if you're doing that consistently, bullets are going into one specific area of the map. You see? So if the chamber peeks me there, I'm doing this. You see how that is a laser? Bam, 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 bam. But if I just let my Stinger naturally fire, look at this. I mean, this is like going everywhere. I mean, this is stupid. So with the Stinger, if you're using the ADS, down right, down right, down right, down right, down right, down right. Also, you know, when you're shooting with a hip fire of the Stinger, the first 6 bullets are very easy to be navigated. So with the Stinger, you want to shoot in increments of 6 bullets. So that is the burst fire with the Stinger. You want to do this. After the 6th bullet, bam, recoil goes up. So after the 6th bullet, you want to basically pull your mouse extremely downwards and do this. Okay. Okay, good round. Good round. I thought that Valorant had no spray patterns. Generally speaking, Valorant doesn't have a spray patterns, but what we have is like on burst fire weapons and some weapons you have the consistent spray pattern with an ADS.
My ult ready.
And it's not really a pattern, it's just the shape of the spray, you know, like the spray, the shape of the burst fire, like, I don't know.
Finally off the...
I just figured out this about the Stinger when I was doing Stinger to Radiant series. Like, you know, if you pull the Stinger down right with the ADS, it's GG.
Safety's off.
Okay. This is what I don't like in her gameplay. Like, not only her gameplay, but generally in gameplay of the Valorant players. Like, it is way too easy for the enemies to predict what you're doing at that moment of time. Like, on the attacker side, if something already works for you, or some area of the map makes more sense for you to push, because enemies are stacking some bomb set with sentinels and utility, just pressure the area of the map that is easier for you. Like, don't go A, B, C, D, E, F, G every single round thinking that you're unpredictable. That's not unpredictable. Like, that is very easy for me to predict, and I'm gonna punish you a lot on a defender side. Like, if this B set already worked for us, let's do a 5-man arcade push. Let's repeat the same push. Why not? Like, I mean, that's more unpredictable than now pushing the A site, where the enemies demolished us last time. Now, one very huge tip. If you already don't have any, you know, you don't have a breach on Fracture, and you're playing Reyna, like, you always want to flash for your teammates in A main area of the map. Like, when you're pushing A main. And what you want to do with Reyna, you want to do this.
Still in sight.
And now push the enemies. Like, this Lear is all the way here,
Still in sight.
and will fully blind the enemies all the way here. Like, that is my primary Lear with the Reyna, like, when I'm pushing A main area of the map. Like, I'm just waiting for my teammates to get a, you know, to come close here, doing the Lear, bam, pressuring the enemies. I would always like to have, like, whenever you're pushing A main area of the map, or Fracture, we need some kind of a stun, some kind of a flash, some kind of a utility here. Like, you will get heavily punished by the operators and God knows what type of a setup if you don't have the anything in this A main area of the map. And no matter if your teammates are pushing in front of you or not, you should always clear every single angle that your teammates are approaching. I'm never going to trust my teammates in clearing the positions. Like, I will always, you know, even if those guys are going in front of me, I'm clearing this, clearing that, pushing the site, clearing this, entering the site, bam, pushing in, you know. Look at this. Not a single angle was cleared, not a single box was cleared. Enemies can easily be there. Now, when you're doing the Lear for the A site, generally speaking, what I prefer as a Lear is always the Lear, like, that goes somewhere here. So essentially, I want to blind the enemies that are playing in this area of the map. I want to blind the enemies that are playing on the left side of the bomb site, and I want to blind the players that are basically, you know, peeking me from the tower. So usually the best Lear for the A site is the Lear like this. And then, you know, the second Lear you can do wherever the fuck you want, like maybe here, whatever. Like, I don't know where the enemies are gonna be. With Reyna, like, your Lear placement is the only thing that you need to learn. Like, how to maximize the potential of your Lear to cover the most amount of angles from which you and your teammates can die at that moment of time. Now, I'm not even gonna speak about your Brimstone smokes. Like, these smokes are literally from Ohio. What the fuck is this? What is that?
Spike down A. Spike down A.
I got the spike.
My ult ready.
Okay, one huge tip. If you already have the Reyna ultimate, and you're in a clutch scenario, use the Reyna ultimate. Fuck it. Like, basically, as soon as I build up the Reyna ultimate, I'm gonna use the Reyna ultimate, because essentially, this ultimate doesn't have any team play potential. The whole point of this ultimate is to win easy rounds for your team. If you already build it up, your 2 versus 4, 1 versus 3, use it, clutch up the round, it doesn't matter. Like, this ultimate, Jet ultimate, and Omen ultimate are completely solo ultimates. Like, there is no team play value, essentially. Like, it's very hard to, in solo queue, you know, utilize it in some kind of a perfect way. Like, perfect moment is the moment where you end up in some kind of a clutch scenario. End of the story.
My ult ready. Last player standing.
Okay.
Cutting their vision.
Stim beacon here.
Spike down.
To be fair, like, this round was primarily lost by your teammates. Like, there was nothing better that she could have done. Except hit those shots, you know.
A.
Like this Brimstone smoke really fucked us up. I don't know what is that. Like, basically, if you have Brimstone in team, like, when you're playing Reyna, even if you're playing Reyna, Killjoy, Sage, one thing that every single player in Valorant should understand, and why am I promoting Omen as the best character to, you know, progress from Iron to Immortal, is because every single player in Valorant should understand what is a good, bad, or optimal smoke. Like, even if you're playing Reyna, and you see this type of a smoke, you need to correct your Brimstone. You need to tell your Brimstone, man, next time we push the A site, we need the smokes here, here, and here, if you're pushing only through the A main area of the map. Or smoke here, and let's just fight for the side control. Like, having a smoke in the middle here, not covering the dish. Literally Ohio setup, man. Like, very bad.
Down A.
As I said, if your attacker side on Fracture is going bad, and essentially, like, we're not finding success anywhere, Arcade is your best friend. But literally your best friend. Like, I've noticed that in solo queue, players are so ignorant about the Arcade area of the map when it comes to the Sentinel's utility usage, when it comes to generally, you know, defending that area of the map. And I heavily recommend you to abuse that specific position. And when you're splitting the map in this specific way, just pay attention on the enemy's timings to flank. You know, if you're spending way too much time here, you need to check a bit more to the right. You know, maybe enemies push the Arcade, maybe they didn't, you know, like, just when you're spending too much time at the choke points here in the Arcade, like, always, you know, check it left and right a bit. I mean, in this round, I seriously don't know what you and Sage are doing. 3 of your teammates are pushing B. Let's just go Arcade with a Sage. Like, right now, if your teammates die in the B main, the round is over. I like the angle clearing. Angle clearing is actually not bad. I have no idea what happened in this round. Like, in solo queue, if my teammates are carrying the spike through the B main area of the map, I mean, that's it. Like, I'm going with them, and essentially, like, there's nothing for you left to do. Like, if they lose the spike on B, the round is already over for you. Like, this lurk, this flank, whatever you're doing right now, won't work. Doesn't make any sense. Like, in solo queue, always prioritize the team play and the refrag game as much as you can. Like, I'm always trying to play with my most aggressive teammates, and I'm trying to support them as best as I can, especially if they're carrying the spike to some specific bomb site. And anyways, you know, in this round we could have abused the Arcade, you know. Okay, one huge tip Don't be like this, Sage, guys, please. So, you can drop from this position without making a single footstep. You know, you don't need to do this. If you go from this location, like this, you see, no sound. Shh, 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 shh. So, what you want to abuse here, like you want to abuse silent step mechanic with a shift. So, I fucked it up. you basically want to pick a right, like distance where you're making this silent step, you know, where you're pressing the WASD key once, and you're pressing the shift as you're reaching on this position. So silent step and shift, bam. Now the lurk is perfecto. Now, because we made those two footsteps, I mean, enemies can be aware, enemies can be anywhere, like, we're kind of fucked already, like, enemy on the side definitely heard us. No jump, like, what you want to do on this position is, as I said, silent step mechanic, so pressing the W key once, and getting from this position to that position with a silent step. And you're pressing the shift. I again fucked it up. I'm so tired, guys, sorry. Like, tiredness is killing me. Ooh, what the hell was that, bro?
Enemy down.
That would take practice. I mean, everything in Valorant takes practice. Ooh. I like that Leer a lot. Like, that Leer in the ground. Basically, like, whenever you're engaging the enemies in a gunfight. So let's say, you know, I want to fight that Jet right there. You always want to position your Leer towards the ground like this or like this and pick that Jet. But in this scenario, it would have been much better if she did a Leer right here. So that basically, you know, that Jet needs to do more flicking in order to kill her right there. Like, essentially, when you're positioning your Leers for the gunfights, you just want to make enemies work more with their crosshair placement and with their flicks to actually kill you. Like, if they want to kill the Leer, they need to do more work with the flicks and the crosshair placement. So essentially, always think, you know, what is going to be harder for the enemies. Placing the Leer left, right, forward, above, etc, etc. Usually, this type of a movement is much harder. You know, why do I prioritize in gunfights putting the Leer down and not above? Because doing this is easier than doing this. Essentially, every single player in FPS games has lower accuracy with bottom to top movement than with the top to bottom movement. Because this is a natural spray control, you know, this is something that you're doing 24/7 in a game. Like going from top to bottom. But when you're pushing the objects away from you, like for example, you're pushing your mouse away from you in this example, like you always have less precision and less control over your muscles and mouse in this example, like then going from top to bottom. Because from top to bottom, you're pulling the mouse towards yourself, and you have more control in your arm to actually precisely flick from top to bottom. Like, just test it out in aim labs. Like, when you're doing some kind of a task where you need to kill the targets, like this, you're gonna have like 20% higher precision than doing this. I don't know what the Jet was doing, but good job. El Clásico. El Clásico. El Clásico. Like, if you want to do the ultimate and you kill an enemy, first heal yourself and then do the ultimate. Like, I mean, obviously. Because if you first do the ultimate, you're never gonna heal yourself completely, and it's just a wasted, you know, potential. Like, but this also happens for me. Like, sometimes when I'm playing on the autopilot mode, I forget about this, and, you know, but if you already want to main Reyna, this is something that should be on the autopilot mode for you. Like, heal, ultimate. Unless you're full HP, of course.
Last player standing.
Ooh!
Last player standing.
Yeah. Now, if you're ever in a 1 versus 2 scenario, like safety is your highest priority, especially with 30 HP. Right now, standing in this open area of the map, when we have no information where the KO is, it's absolutely suicide for us. Like, right now, we need to choose a bit smarter position or a safer position to isolate 1 versus 1 gunfights, and this is why Reyna sucks compared to every single other duelist. Like, you're either gonna hit your shots or you're gonna die. Like, there's no smokes, no flashes, no walls, no teleports, nothing. No satchels. So, here, you know, the only location where we can go, basically just go into the tower, pray to God that you're gonna hit a 1-tap on one enemy, and that's it. Because otherwise, this is gonna happen. Like, as soon as she missed this Reyna here, and the Brimstone died, she should have repositioned. Like, in this scenario, I would have instantly went into the tower, and I would try to go all the way into the arcade to clear the arcade for myself to see if I can find a kill onto the KO, and I would try to isolate the gunfight with the KO before the Reyna pushes this area of the map. And I would try to see, you know, like, if I can do that, if KO is gonna make any footsteps, try to kill the KO, and then I would go for the kill of the Reyna. Her micro adjustments are kind of fucked up. I don't know what type of sensitivity she's using, and generally, you know, like, I didn't see her play for a very long period of time, but I'll try to give you some kind of an aim training routine to work on these problems.
Player standing.
Everyone always does arcade in clutch, as well as tower. I mean, it's easier for you to isolate, you know, the gunfights from the arcade than isolating the gunfights from the tower and from the site. Like, if you stay on the bomb site, like, you're kind of fucked. Not gonna lie. Especially with 30 HP. Like, from the arcade, at least, like, I can maybe peek one enemy, try to get a kill while the other enemy is defusing, you know, like, it's easier.
My healing.
Oh, you got disconnected.
Enemy spotted. Hey.
Cutting their vision. Cutting their vision.
Okay, listen, this round. First of all, generally speaking, when your teammates are pushing the aim in area of the map, we need to have some kind of a flash, some kind of a stun, something. Like, if your teammates are not flashing, flash from them through the wall and then push this area of the map. Like, I don't want to die from this guy here, even though Yoru is revealing that guy and pressuring that guy. I don't know if that Jet is gonna go for some aggro peek, delete me, etc, etc. Second of all, let's see at the economy. How much money she had here? $4,400. How much money is that in the next round? In this round, what I would buy, if I was playing instead of her, I would go with the Vandal and Light Shield. I would go with the Vandal and Light Shield. Because if she gets Vandal and Light Shield, in the next round she can again play like Vandal with Heavy Shield, actually, right? Like, if you're playing Reyna, you know, you should, even with the Light Shield, you're extremely useful. Like, you you kill one enemy, you overheal yourself, end of the story. Like, so always prioritize the guns and shields over your utility. I mean, your flashes are hit or miss anyways. You know, like, you never know if they're gonna be useful or not. They can be destroyed, blah, blah, blah. But the guns is what wins you the games. So if you ever end up in this type of a scenario again, even if your teammates are saving or half buying, just go for the Vandal and Light Shield. How did how did the Yoru get the knife kill on Reyna, man? What the fuck?
Cutting their vision. Cutting their vision.
You are powerless.
With Stinger, like, when we're playing these half buy and eco rounds with the close range weapons, like, you should not be this afraid to actually engage the enemies. Like, the first opportunity you see to kill at least one enemy with a Stinger, take it. Like, basically, in all of these half buy and low buy rounds, my primary focus is trading myself for at least 1 or 2 kills as soon as I can. Like, I'm trying to close the gap with the enemies as best as I can. So basically here, if I already see on the minimap that KO is literally on the left of me, I'm not gonna try to kill this Jett that is on the dish. I'm instantly swinging this KO, killing the KO, and that's it. Like, basically, your primary mindset in eco rounds, half buy rounds, should always be like, you know, I want to play a bit more aggressive. I want to close the gap with the enemies as best as I can with my utilities and the guns that I have with that agent, and I just want to trade myself for as many kills as possible to allow my teammates to have easier time winning this specific round. Whenever enemy Jett has the ultimate, always pay attention on these two positions and pre-aim them at the start of the round. Like, if the enemy Jett has the ultimate, look here or look up there. Like, 90% of the Jett players are gonna go for that specific play. And if the Chamber has the ultimate and your teammates are pushing some open area of the map, we always need to have some kind of a stun or flash in the main areas of the maps. So essentially, if my teammates are pushing B main and the Chamber says, what the fuck Chamber says, I don't know anymore. Like, if I think, you know, if Chamber has the ultimate and she does the ultimate, I'm instantly doing this. I'm pushing forward. Like, protect your teammates always in the main areas of the maps with your utility. You can do that with every agent, even with a Killjoy. With a Killjoy, I would just drop an Enos from there and push forward. Fuck it. Like, if your teammates are already not doing a good job with their utility usage, you need to protect them somehow.
You want to play? Let's play.
Oh, is that the ultimate? Gosh, they're gonna die from the Jett. Oof. Okay. That was close. Like, essentially, whenever the enemy Jett has the ultimate, you know, instantly call your teammates like, hey, one of you guys, can you watch up here? Like this, I'm gonna watch this. For 3 or 4 seconds, watch these 2 angles, and then push something. How did the Jett get on the box? You can glide from this position, like from this position here, from this position here, and double updrift. Bam, bam. You can also glide from this position here and do the double updrift here.
They will cower. No one walks away.
Reload.
Stay inside.
Smoke's down. Cutting through.
As I said in the previous rounds, whenever you're pushing the B set of Fracture, like, always clear the site, first focus.
Shields ready.
Clear the tower, second focus. Clear the arcade, third focus. Like 1, 2, 3. If your teammates are not doing that for you, you should do that for them. Like right now, we don't have the tower cleared. Enemies can still be there. Enemies can be arcade. Our teammates can get fucked in the anal buttholes. I mean, that's the same thing.
Right here.
Rest.
Here. Here.
You see, that chamber was actually in the arcade hole this time. Like, I would have cleared that chamber 20 seconds ago. So, essentially, you know, try to like, you know, clear the site in this specific order. Now, when it comes to like, is it worth to use double object for it, especially when most people know it already? PvK, I don't think that players in Valorant are actually using their brain that much. You know, like I got punished by updrafting on these 3 positions, maybe like 2 times out of 100 matches. Basically, with the Jet, you know, this peak is not bad, this peak is not bad, and this peak here is not bad. But if you're going for these 3 peaks, what is really good to have, it's really good to have the flash. Like telling your breach to flash this, or Yoru or someone, so that this double object actually works for you perfectly. Like, if you can tell your teammate, you know, to stun, to use a flash something, and taking easy kills for yourself and your team.
One enemy remaining.
Here.
One enemy remaining.
I need to ask her, like, what is her sensitivity, because her micro corrections and micro adjustments are really, really fucked up. Like, whenever she goes for the spray, or she needs to recorrect her aim, like, it looks terrible. Like, she's okay with flicking, she's okay with clearing the corners and angles, but when she needs to readjust herself, like, essentially, you know, like, it looks horrible. I'll try to give you some aim training routine to fix these specific problems, but this is really like, you know, I don't know. Maybe a bit lower sensitivity than this can help you, but I don't think so. Like, primarily you should try to train your aim.
Thank you.
Knife deployed. Suppressed.
Reloading.
Reload.
Can't use that.
Reloading.
I really love how Valorant players are so predictable. Like, I just don't understand. Like, do you guys think that you're unpredictable by pushing everything randomly? I mean, that is more predictable for me than, like, if you push the same site 12 rounds in a row, I cannot predict that ever in my life. I would never expect some shit like that. By going like this, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like, it's so easy for me to understand where you're gonna end up next. Like, if the B is already working for you, or a specific area of the map, keep abusing it, you know, like players in Valorant, what they're lacking the most on a defender's side is adaptiveness. Like, they adapt very, very slow to what you're doing and how you're fucking them up. Sometimes even never. So if something is already working for you, enemies are weaker in some area of the map, just abuse it, man.
Still inside.
Reloading.
Fully smoked. Stim beacon here.
Cutting their vision. saw me.
Okay. Good.
I suggest you move.
Out of charge.
Yo, I'm with. Yeah, man. Like I'm dying, bro. I'm dying, man. Like I'm streaming. I did like 2 coaching sessions today, 2 VOD reviews, and my brain is melting.
Enemy spotted head. Molly. Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
Reload. Reload.
Okay. One thing that I need to like. One thing that I need to advise you a bit more to pay attention during your gameplay is trying to follow a bit better your most aggressive teammates. Like you need to pay attention more on keeping the proper gap between your ally that is going first, second, third, etc, etc. And generally speaking, like during your gameplay, you just want to lock in your PP onto the butthole of your teammate that is first in. So essentially, you know, if you're pushing this A main area of the map, and I see that one guy is there, that's it. I don't care what's happening here. I just want to help these guys go out, and that's it.
Still inside.
Reloading.
Fully smoked. Stim beacon here.
Cutting the vision.
Okay,
Never saw
not bad.
I suggest you move.
Out of charge.
Play as aggressive as the most aggressive person in your team, but generally speaking, like, you know, that is the advice that I give to every single solo queue player. Like, you want to play, you always want to prioritize playing with your teammates that are the most aggressive and that have the highest chances of dying and that are doing something useful for your team. So if my teammates are already executing the site, they're already prioritizing aiming control, like, just play with them. And I have no idea what this Brimstone is doing. Like, his smokes are terrible. Like, he's always wasting one smoke or misplacing it. Like, what the hell is that? Let me see the enemy's economy in this round. Okay. The smokes are getting progressively worse, true, man. Good night, Wolfie. Good night, man.
Suppressing. Got the spike. Suppress. Target sighted.
Listen. Whenever you're holding the enemies for some kind of fight that is above 20 meters, and you're holding some kind of a narrow angle, or an angle where the enemies can jiggle PQ, it is always better to hold it with ADS. So for example, this type of a fight, I would always hold with the ADS. Only because the first bullet inaccuracy and the first bullet spread of the Vandal is horrible. Like, this bullet can go any fucking where. Like, literally, this is ginormous. So basically, here, I would definitely hold the angle like this, wait for that KO to re-peek with the Marshal or whatever, bam, delete that KO, move forward.
Fully smoked.
Pathetic.
Molly.
But anyways, she got a kill like that.
Still inside.
Cutting through.
The pushes into B side that she's doing are good, but the only thing that I don't like in her gameplay, and generally this team's gameplay, is that they are not prioritizing the tower and arcade at all. Like, even if you kill 2 enemies on B side, we still need to check the tower, we still need to check the arcade. Like, we just don't know what type of setup enemies are gonna play in this round, if the chamber is again in the arcade with the teleport, and it's too much of a risk to, you know, risk enemy chamber being in the smoke, surprising us from the tower, killing our guy that is planting the spike, etc, etc. What's the best way to clear a tower? You pull out your cock out and you just clear it.
You're not. My ult.
One enemy remaining.
in this type of longer range gunfights, definitely be a bit more prone to using like the ADS. Like only because, as I said, like we have a lot of fucked up things in Valorant, like the peeker's advantage, the latency difference, the first bullet inaccuracy and spread. Like if you're already playing a long range gunfights with the Vandal, I mean, I'm not gonna go, you know, for the BAM here. I'm gonna ADS that spot. Aha, that guy peeks, bam, bam, delete him, get out of the game. Okay. Like this must be some kind of a joke. Like these guys are like, if I was in the enemy team, I would be shitting on you. Like this is one of the primary problems that why it is so easy for me to, you know, reach Immortal 3 in this game. Only because how predictable the players are with their pushes and with their strategies. Like it's always some kind of a rule of fear, AB style of pushing. Like, bro, if you already see that two enemies are playing B, they have no real sentinels. You're demolishing the enemies on B. Go B. And definitely in solo queue, like don't lurk and don't go for the hardcore splits unless the match is falling apart. Like right now, we are 5-4. My teammates are carrying the spike to the A main area of the map. I'm going in the A main. Like, we have the Brimstone, we have the Sage, we don't need the dish control, we don't need any lurks and flanks. We took the A side quite easily with a 5-man push through the A. Evaluate your rounds, evaluate the outcome of your rounds, and just repeat what worked for you. As long as it is working, it doesn't need to be fixed. Here, the enemy might be...
Enemy spotted A. Decoy. Looking for me?
I mean, you see, basically, like, you know, Sage and Reyna, useless as fuck. Like, in this round, you did nothing. Like, if your teammates are already good at pushing A main, and enemies are not contesting the A main area of the map with good utility, with one-way smokes, with the stun, with the operator, I don't know, like, with heavy utility, just take the A main and split the A side through the sand, through main, or just push through the main. Like, you don't need a dish. Dish is only needed when your A main pushes are, you know, not working, and when enemies are deploying a heavy utility to control A main area of the map.
Still inside.
Yikes.
Reloading.
Fully smoked.
Good attempt. Reloading. Still inside. Reloading.
What do you think of the chamber buffs? Insignificant, but I'm gonna put him from D tier to the C tier.
Right here.
Shutting them down.
Right here.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, just, you know, easy round. Easy win. Okay. Thoughts on the shorty nerf? Significant. I would still play it in the first round with a classic pistol shorty strategy. But now, you know, I will buy it as a primary, secondary weapon only if I have a good economy for that and if I have money for that.
Jump them.
Weapon here.
You know, when you're pushing this A main area of the map, like, really try to, you know, emphasize to your teammates that we need some kind of a utility here. Like, we cannot swing this area of the map with a dry peak and pray to God that we're gonna live a happy life. Like, if your teammates are already not doing any utility in the main areas of the maps, waste one of your leaders. It's completely fine to do something like this to make them live another day and then push with your team.
Enemy spotted. A.
Fully smoked. Stim beacon down.
I don't know, both you and Sage have some very fucked up ideas. Like, during your gameplay, like, you know, what is your primary focus on the attacker side? Primary focus on the attacker side is to find the weakest enemy link and to find the playstyle that works the best against that specific group of the random enemies on the enemy team. And if you already find something that works like a charm for you, that's it. Push with your teammates through the A main, tell your Brimstone, stop being an idiot, smoke the dish for us so that we're not dying from the dish, take the ace control for free, and that's it. I mean, in this VOD, enemies have 0 sentinels, like they cannot stop your pushes at all. Was that an enemy Reyna on the minimap? Look at this. Wait, I need to check it. What the fuck is that there? Is that a Discord? Omen is getting a buff. Really? What's Omen getting? No way, man. No way. Let me check it. Omen is getting a buff. Where the fuck did you read that? Trolling? Aha, okay, fucking ultimate. Okay. Now, listen. When it comes to the mechanical skill of this player that we are reviewing right now, I feel that generally, crosshair placement is not bad. Flicks are not bad. Reaction time is not bad. But your visual intake of information is poo-poo caca, and your micro corrections with your aim are terrible. Like, whenever you need to track the target, whenever you need to correct your mouse with your wrist and with the tip of your fingers, that is where the most problems come from. If you want to play Reyna, you know, successfully all the way up to Radiant, we need to focus on your aim a bit more than anything else. And of course, like, you know, playing with your team a bit more, like if the team player is already working for you. Like, I am going to give you some recommendations there after this VOD review, and I'll give you a training routine for that.
Last player standing.
Gone.
You drop.
Take everything.
Reloading.
Suppress it.
Pay attention on your teammates. Pay at all consistently during your gameplay. Try to read 2 steps ahead what your teammates are gonna do. Like right now, I would deploy the flash ability onto the bomb site like this. So basically, if I ended up here for some reason, right now I'm doing this. Why? Because on the minimap, your Yoru has a full setup to go into this position. And I would already think 2 steps ahead that he's gonna try to do that. And that is why 50% of my gameplay, my eyes are on the minimap. 50% of my gameplay, my eyes are on my screen. essentially, pay attention to the minimap, always. Even if you're playing someone like Reyna, you know, you're not that useless. Like, you still have your leers, your flashes, and you can support your teammates, at least with your presence. Like, right now, I will be ready to get into the site. Bro, this Yoru is crazy. Like, he just took 2 kills on the attacker side with Operator. Like, the moral of the story of this attacker side is try to support more your most aggressive teammates and try to play with them a bit more. Like, try to pinpoint on the minimap who is your most aggressive teammate, most useful ally that is opening an area of the map for the whole team, and just push in. And please, if you have a smoker in your team, tell your smokers to do better smokes for Fracture, because a bad smokes will cost you 20% of your matches. Even if you're not playing controllers, every single player in Valorant should know what is a good, bad, or optimal smoke. I've sent you the videos on Fracture. You know exactly what are the good smokes.
You want to play? Let's play. You want to play? Let's play.
Also, one thing that I've noticed is that she's not crouching at all in the gunfights. Like, guys, crouching is not bad. Like, essentially, don't be afraid to crouch because somebody told you that you're an easy target. Yes, like, over crouching in gunfights is terrible. Like, crouching as soon as you take a gunfight is terrible. But if the enemy crouches well, and fuck up his crosshair placement, and you'll have easier time winning a fight. If you lose the spray control, and you lose the control of your, you know, like bullets of your weapon, crouch, it's better. If you know, crouch peeking the enemies is not bad at some angles, depending which weapon you think they're having and what type of a crosshair placement. Like, if already, you know, I get in a gunfight with that harbor, and he, you know, crouches there, and I miss my spray, bam. Fuck it. Because if that enemy already crouched, and he missed his bullets, his crosshair is probably gonna be around this level. So he doesn't have crouch anymore to actually naturally reposition his verticality of the crosshair and of that spray. And essentially, you know, that crouch would have been very useful there. You see here, as soon as I would have seen that this bullet missed the harbor, instead of pulling my mouse down, I'm gonna pull my whole body down. Like, it is much easier to micro-adjust your crosshair with your movement than micro-adjusting your crosshair with your mouse. That's why you have WASD, that's why you have the crouch, and that's why you can compensate your aim with your movement by a lot.
You want to play? Let's play.
Switching sides.
Anyways, that push into the, you know, like, even though I said that, you know, you should follow your most aggressive teammates. But listen, in the post plant, if your teammates are doing some kind of an aggression, like, just focus on winning the round. Like, if my Yoru is pushing there, and my Yoru dies, here, my Yoru dies, and I'm not able to refray that Yoru, I'm instantly picking the knife in my hands, and I'm going back to the site. I'm repositioning myself, getting ready to play the post plant, and that's it. Like, follow every stupid play that your teammates are making, but as long as you have the safety, and as long as you're able to safely refrag your teammate. Here, I would instantly just go back onto the site, plant the spike, and play the post plant with my allies. Because in solo queue, you never know, like, how your teammates are gonna play the post plant. And if you're already alive, don't go for the stupid plays. It's just better for you to play a bit more safe. Like, losing the rounds in this way is the most stupid thing you can do in solo queue. Like, losing the rounds because of pointless over-aggression. Reyna is just a smurfing agent, to be honest, it's all aim, no brain. True, but still, like, you know, with Reyna, like, positioning is very important. Movement is very important. Aim is very important. Which gunfights you're choosing is very important. How you're fighting the fights is very important. Like, how you're closing the rounds is very important. Because a lot of the Reyna players are over-aggressive for no reason. Like, if I'm already 4 versus 2, and I can plant the spike on B, and win this round in the most easy way possible, I'm gonna do that. Like, there's no reason for me to take some kind of a fight in the CT and risk losing this whole match because of a pointless gunfight with the Harbor. My Yoru is dead. Like, as soon as she did this layer here, and this Yoru died, I'm taking the knife out, and I'm just going into sight, telling my Sage to plant the spike, and I'm playing on a refrag potential. As soon as you make high numbers advantage in Valorant, like, basically, you're like 5v3, 5v2, 5v1, 4v3, 4v2, 4v1, 3v2, 3v1, 2v1. As soon as these numbers are in the game, your highest priority is just the refrag potential. Refragging each other's out, and nothing else is your priority. Sorry guys, I was doing something. Okay, the absolutely best first round on Fracture is something that I explained in a lot of my coaching sessions and VOD reviews on Twitch. Like in the first round, like on Fracture, on a defender's side, it is absolutely stupid to play passively. Like, always the best idea is to put 2 guys on B side. 1 guy should be in A main, getting the contact with the enemies here, and you, together with one of your teammates, so for, in this example, maybe with a Yoru, should play a slow push through the dish all the way into the arcade, surprising the enemies if they are potentially pushing the B side, and essentially playing a fast rotation. There is no chance that enemies will ever predict that 2 guys are pushing the dish, and these enemies here will never be ready for 2 of you guys in the dish area of the map. If your teammates don't listen, I will still do it alone. I will still go for this play alone. Now, if you get a contact with the enemies here, you're always going back onto the A side. If your teammates get a contact with the enemies here, you're clearing this area of the map fast, and you're rotating back to the A side. And if this is silent, like nobody's here, you're committing to the push on B and going for the fast rotation and fast flank and fast lurk. If nobody is on the B side and enemies play the slow push onto A, you're just rotating through the CT fast and helping your teammate on the A side. And in the first round, on a defender side with Reyna, on Fracture, I think that Ghost and 2 Devours are the best options. Shift. Okay. You see, like, I mean, to be honest, like, you know, her teammates are demolishing the enemies. Like this Yoru is insane. Like, this Yoru is maybe smurfing, I don't know. But even if you push this area of the map, S2, we would have got a guaranteed kill on that KO. Like, there is no way that KO would expect 2 of us there. And if they peek together, that KO probably would have, well, terrible. I mean, like, Yoru and KO are doing an amazing job. Like, I don't know what the fuck.
Down A. 1 enemy remaining.
After you go to A side from satellite, if they go A main, where would you play after getting back? So basically, if the enemies are pushing, you know, in this first round, if the enemies are pushing A, you know, I clear this area of the map for my teammates, and I'm going back, I would always try to get into the CT as fast as possible and go onto the tower ASAP. It's too dangerous for me to play on the site, especially if you don't have anyone on the site, and I would just prioritize this area of the map and this control. But if you have teammates on the site, like I would just try to pick the fight with the enemies, you know, in the A main.
Flawless.
Okay. I don't know. Like, by the way, guys, defender side of the fracture. Like on defender side of fracture, you want to apply. First of all, you should always be applying some kind of a pressure onto the enemies in the A main area of the map. Like you should always be doing some kind of a reveal there, some kind of a smoke, some kind of a utility, and slowing down the enemy's push in the A main area of the map. Like that is the highest priority. That is something that the whole team should be doing. For you as a Reyna player, your primary focus is abusing the best off angles and the best positions in A main, dish, and arcade area of the map to get an easy kill onto the enemies. And B main area of the map you should be only abusing when you're pressuring it together with your teammates. Now, essentially, with a Reyna you want to be flexible. You just want to be predicting like where the enemies are gonna go next. And to be honest, on this map, yo, Tarhanachi, man, thank you a lot, brother. Like I'm dying here, man. Zach himself, welcome to stream, bro. Yellow Snowman, welcome to stream. Guys, I'm so sorry that I'm...
appreciate your hard work and entertaining style. You are the best, Sam.
I'm so sorry that I'm speaking like this. Like, I'm literally dying. I did 2 coaching sessions, 2 additional VOD reviews, and this is my 5th VOD review for today. And I have a coaching session in like, I don't know, 10 hours from now, like, or something. Now, with Reyna, generally with any agent on this map, I would prioritize getting the operator as soon as I can. I feel that enemies in every elo below like Immortal 3, they have a very terrible utility usage when they are pushing main areas of the maps on Fracture. So if you can save for the op until the 4th or 5th round, that would be great, even with the Reyna. Like I highly advise you if you're playing, you know, Reyna on Fracture, get that operator as soon as possible. There's enormous amount of good off angles and positions from which you can pick apart the enemies. And you will see that even in my Omen to Immortal series, I'm using the operator on the same levels as I did like the Jet to Immortal series. Like, essentially, you know, op is a really powerful weapon on Fracture. Economy mistake again. How are you having so many economy mistakes? Like, this should not be happening for a Platinum player. So, even if you're playing Reyna in an anti-eco round, always prioritize getting a heavy shield and guns over the utility. Like this round, we're winning on the heavy shield and guns, and this is not a utility round. Enemies right now have the sheriffs, classics, frenzies, I don't know, some shit weapons. Heavy shield, extremely important for this round. On Fracture, heavy shield Bulldog, heavy shield Spectre, heavy shield Stinger, heavy shield Judge, heavy shield... that's it. Depending what type of playstyle you have and which position you want to play. Like right now, I would go with a heavy shield Bulldog probably, or heavy shield Spectre, based on my personal playstyle. Oof.
Reloading.
Yikes. This is a call for the instant rotation. Like, if my teammate gets deleted like that at the start of the round, like on Fracture, definitely feel free to do a bit, you know, faster rotations. And feel free to sacrifice the map control for a potential to play like with your teammates on the refresh potential. Like here, I'm instantly rotating to B, like I'm not even thinking.
Enemy down.
You fought well.
Spike down B.
Inside.
Very, very, very good, very good, very good. I just wanted to say that, you know, she needs to pay attention to the arcade area of the map because nobody was in arcade, and one enemy can definitely be in arcade lurking there. But, I mean, here, just reveal them both there.
Reloading.
Yo, Nebars World, thank you a lot for the Prime sub, man, and thank you for scamming Jeff Bezos. Okay, just a side note here. If your teammates are mentally retarded, you don't need to be mentally retarded. Just think about it. Like, if two of your teammates already die like this, I will play a bit safer right now. And I will make sure that I'm playing with my Brimstone to close out this round on the Reaper potential. Like, this is something that she could not have played any better. Like, there's no way she could have supported this KO and this Sage pushing the enemies. Like, one general rule that you want to use in Valorant, if the enemies are eco or half buy on the attacker's side, never aggress the enemies. Don't allow the enemies to have a 50-50 fights. If you need to sell the site to the enemies, sell the bomb site. It is better for you to play a 5 versus 5 retake in the anti-eco round than fighting a 50-50 gunfights everywhere. So here, you know, you had two options. Falling back and playing with a Brimstone, which would be not bad option. Like, you know, maybe you can, you know, hold the enemies from the bomb site and wait for your Brimstone to come to you. If you already want to aggress the enemies, we need to use a flash here, and we need to pick the enemies with a flash. But generally speaking, one very specific rule that you should follow with a Bulldog. With a Bulldog, you consistently want to fight the enemies in a medium range and a long range gunfight. That is the full power of Bulldog. Like, automatic fire of Bulldog is shit. Even in the anti-eco round, like, that is not the main power of this weapon. The main power is that, you know, one bullet to the head, one bullet to the body is always a kill on any distance. And burst fire is what you primarily want to use with a Bulldog to fight the enemies. So right now, you know, we dropped all of the guns here and on the site. I can just easily wait for the enemies to go for the guns, bam bam, take one kill, wait for the second enemy, bam bam, take another kill, and that's it. Bunny Slippers, thank you a lot for the raid. I'm dying here. I'm sorry guys, like, I'm doing a VOD review. Okay. Much love, much love, much love.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
So this round was unnecessarily hard and such a huge risk, but primarily because her teammates went for a full gorilla place. Now, with Reyna, to be honest, like, you know, maybe the best weapon that you can use with Reyna on Fracture as an anti-eco, pardon me, as a half buy and bonus round weapon is the Sheriff. Just buy the Sheriff. Sheriff, Light Shield, and, you know, go for these one taps and that's it. I mean, unfortunately with Reyna, you know, you need to use these one tap weapons more than with any other character in the game. And just Sheriff in this round will be 10 times better than using a Frenzy. Like, and considering what type of pattern enemies have developed of pushing, basically in the first round, enemies went A. In the second round, they went B. In this third round, like, chances are, I would say 60%, or maybe even higher, that enemies are going to pressure us on A. So right now, in this bonus round, you know, you can try to experiment a bit more. You're in an economy disadvantage. We're saving the money for the fourth round. Just go. Like, buy the Light Shield. Wait for the enemies to push A main. Bam. Get back. Or maybe, you know, because in the first round we saw that the KO was alone in the dish area of the map. Let's maybe wait for that KO and just delete that KO, overheal, pick that gun, etc, etc.
Fake teleport. Careful here.
Okay, maybe like I guess enemies play default in this round. Like I don't know. I mean, enemy KO was in the dish, but I don't know if the enemies in the A main got scared because like Yoru was faking a push, I guess. But I don't know why would enemies be scared.
Multiple enemies B.
What rank are you right now at for your Omen to Immortal? Like Ascendant 3. We need like 4 more wins to get Immortal, but unfortunately, like I still didn't finish my playbook on Jet and Omen. Like I need to cover 17.5 maps for the rank solo queue playbook, and I'm gonna be covering that during the June. And in June, like I'm going to play on North America, and I'm gonna try to get Immortal 3 on North America. Like, to get back in Immortal 3 there. I wanna play a bit with my Americano Banditos, man. I'm really missing, like, NA experience. Like, NA experience is so much better than EU. EU is, like, very EU. Do you not struggle with high ping? I mean, now it's very hard to get Radiant with a high ping because high ping got really, really nerfed. But, I don't know. I'll test it out. I didn't play on NA for 1.5 years. When did I get Radiant, chat? I got Radiant on North America like December 2021, I think.
Knife deployed.
Would you play OC? I cannot play on Australia. Like I have like 180 ping on that server. What is the difference between EU and NA in your opinion? It's harder to get Radiant in Europe, but not because players are something special. The problem is like in EU players are mentally ill. You know, like there are a lot of toxic players, a lot of leavers, a lot of players that don't want to play the game, a lot of the players that don't have the microphone, a lot of the players that are speaking like some Abu Dabba Jabila language, like language of elder gods. Like I don't know, man. Like literally, experience is fucked.
Here.
Hey.
Elder gods language, man.
Flash.
Stealing sight.
Spike planted.
You know what? Like, I think the Reyna is the only agent, one of the rare agents, on which I would recommend you to play the Sheriff in those type of rounds. Like, I really feel that the Reyna players benefit from this Devour and overheal a lot. And if you hit that one tap, and if you kill the enemies in those bonus rounds, you know, with the Sheriff, it's such a huge deal. Like, I think the Reyna is gonna be the only agent in this series on whom I'm gonna prioritize a bit of a, you know, like flashy aim type of gameplay than anything else. Because every other agent has some kind of a benefits, you know, like of playing the frenzies, playing the shorties, classic pistols, close range weapons, etc, etc. Reyna is just, you know, hit those shots and just kill them, man. I think Reyna is gonna be the most boring character in this series, like in terms of content.
Knife deployed. Two suppressed.
In this scenario here,
Stealing sight.
like when she got a kill there,
Spike planted.
I would have went for overheal over the Devour. I would have risked overhealing myself only because I'm playing a fucking frenzy right now. Like, that is worth a risk in a bonus round and an eco round. Like, getting the overheal right now would have been a huge deal to actually clutch up this round. Like, in any other scenario where I have a Vandal, Operator, long range weapon, I would have went with a Devour. But only because this is a bonus round and the HP means so much to me to potentially win a gunfight with a frenzy, the overkill is better than the dismiss, not the devour. Like devour is the name of the ability. The thing Ghost is overrated. I mean, I personally don't think it is worth playing Ghost like in bonus rounds and eco rounds. I feel it is better to play some type of a different strategy. Like very rarely I see that players have a success with a Ghost. Like whenever I coach the players and whenever I do the VOD reviews of even Radiant players that are using the Ghost in bonus rounds and eco rounds, like success is not high. Like higher success have the players that are abusing some kind of strategy with a shorty, with a frenzy, with a sheriff, stinger, etc, etc. Okay. I mean, considering this was their bonus round, good round, fuck it, let's go next. Huge tip, as always, like, the first 3 rounds in Valorant are called the learning rounds. In the first 3 rounds on both attackers and defender side, you want to take as many visual and mental notes about what enemies are doing during the game. What type of pattern enemies are abusing. Where the enemies primarily love to push. Like right now, we have a lot of knowledge what enemies love to do. So enemies are following the AB pattern of pushing. Number 1. Number 2, enemy KO is whenever enemy KO is in the dish, he is doing the knife right here. So right now, we need to dodge the knife and then go for the peek. Or maybe we don't need to go for the peek at all. We can just hold some kind of an angle like this. Some kind of an off angle like this. Some kind of an angle like this. All 3 of these angle holdings in this area of the map are perfectly fine. But pushing here fast, when we already know that the KO is doing the knife there, not gonna be fun. It's me, good, welcome to stream, man. Like, I'm dying a bit, sorry guys, like, I don't want to repeat myself. Welcome, bro. Even though in this round, as I said, like, you know, enemies are consistently abusing the AB pattern of pushing. Like, that is the most common pattern you're gonna see in Valorant. Like, basically, this AB rule and rule of fear is something that you're gonna see most of the times in the ranked solo queue. Like, it is so easy to predict enemies below Immortal 3, like, just simply based on these 2 rules. Of course, during my gameplay, like, I'm paying attention on the enemy's utility, on the enemy's, like, economy, generally what individual enemies love to do. But these 2 rules are, like, you know, the pinnacle of Valorant. Buy the slippers. Good night, baby. Thank you a lot for the raid. I need to go to sleep as well soon. Well, this is okay. I mean, what she's doing.
Flashing. Okay, okay.
Once again, this is the absolutely main problem of the Reyna players. If you don't need to fight some gunfight, don't fight it. If you can make the gunfight work in your favor, make the gunfight work in your favor. If you can take easier fights, take the easier gunfights. But you don't need to fight alone. There's others in this universe fighting with you. So here, learn how to play on the contact of your teammates. learn how to bait your teammates a bit more to take easy frags. Like if my KO is down on the bomb site,
Okay, okay.
I can wait for the KO to pick a fight with the enemies and then surprise the enemies with a swing. Enemies have no idea where you are. You have a surprise mechanic working in your favor. Like in this round, I would have just went here, waited for the KO to pick a fight from there, swing, bam, bam. 2 easy kills, get out. If I'm in the numbers advantage, and I have teammates that I can bait, or trade, or fight with, and my location is a secret, quote unquote, it's better to play on the surprise factor, instead of putting yourself in a 50-50 individual fight and losing that fight. Every single gunfight in Valorant, you can simplify to the degrees where essentially like you can win them, you know, like you have 80% of chances of winning that fight. Like simplify them. Let the enemies first maybe be in an open area of the map there when they're pushing the site, flash them, peek them. But if the enemies are in the choke point, they're not pushing the site yet. Wait a bit. It's completely fine. You don't need to take a fight. Especially if you feel that the gunfight is not working in your favor. You know, chill a bit. Like reset yourself. Reset your mind. Reset your aim. Reset your movement. Here, after missing that burst fire, I would have chilled a bit. I would have done a flash to maybe fight the enemies, to surprise the enemies in any way. Like, I would never repick that same angle in the same way.
I'll teach him to
This round, you lost.
respect their elders.
It is what it is. but you know, the main problem of her aim is just those micro corrections and readjusting her crosshair onto the targets that are crouched, targets that are moving. Like micro corrections are really shitting on you. As I said, I'll send you a training routine for this, and we're gonna fix this problem without any problems in the next 2 months, 3 months. I don't know.
Cutting through.
Once again, we're coming to the same problem that we had on the attacker side. If your teammates are mentally ill and your teammates are going for some kind of a aggro play that is maybe stupid or where basically you know, it is unnecessary at that moment of time, don't make a mistake instead of them. Like here, okay, my Yoru wants to push this based on his body posture, based on the direction in which he is looking at that moment of time. My Yoru wants to, cool, let's push that with Yoru, no problem. I'm gonna get ready myself to push that with a Yoru. Basically, direction in which your teammates are looking at and how they are moving to a certain position can tell you a lot what your teammates want to do. Especially when you're on a defender side, if your teammate is looking at a certain direction, even if he's not giving you any comms, what he wants to do at that moment of time, just the simple direction can tell you, you know, what that Yoru will do. If I already see that Yoru is looking through the barrier here, I'm gonna prepare my flash like this, bam, peek, take a kill, get out. In the B main area of the map, I'm never going to stay for more than 1 burst fire. Like if I see enemies there and I do this, I'm out. Re-peeking that angle is a death sentence for you, especially without any additional utility. After that initial burst fire, knife out, jump out. End of the story. But to be honest, as soon as I would have seen that my Yoru is abandoning this mission, I would have been out already. Like if I've seen that, that's it. Like I'm not fighting anymore. Knife is in my hands. I'm going back to the site.
Under their transgressions.
Like you need to pay more attention, you know, like how your teammates are moving, what your teammates are doing, basically a lot of the times your teammates are in a really good position where you can trade them, bait them, and you're not using that opportunity. A lot of the times your teammates are doing some kind of a mistake and they somehow magically escape from that mistake, but then you die instead of them. Because you completely follow through their initial mistake, if that actually makes sense. I'm too tired here. But I mean, this aggression here is fine. You know, the only thing that I prioritize a bit more on Fracture is doing the aggression with my teammates. You know? Like, if you want to push something aggressively, it is better to work through one area of the map together with your ally. Like right now, what would be really great if you and Yoru are maybe pushing the arcade. You and Yoru are pushing the dish, for an example, and taking the control of this. But doing the solo pushes in a 50-50 fights here, that is something that I would definitely avoid. Like, if we can already work on the refrag potential, it's better to work on that refrag potential. But now both you and Yoru are picking 50-50 individual gunfights, and those gunfights can go in anyone's favor. And it doesn't make sense to, you know, fight for so much map control. Like, basically on Fracture, make sure that your smoker is smoking this every single round, like here, or here, or here, taking the control of the A main area of the map, and we can work the arcade, dish, or B main, depending where we want to surprise the enemies. And the rest of the team can just play passively. It's totally fine that she's, you know, on the B side like right now, and that she's holding the B. But one huge tip that I need to give you for solo queue is if your teammates leave you alone on the B side, the absolutely worst thing that you can do is play from the side or from the tower. You can die, not only you, but also your teammates can die because of timings and luck in some gruesome ways. Like whenever you're left alone on the B side, it is 10 times better to sell the side control, play a 5 versus 5 retake, and just hold this angle here. From this angle here, like you're holding both the push from the arcade and from the B main area of the map. I'm gonna have a crosshair placement for the closer push there, and I'm gonna flick on that enemy, and that's it. I'm just fighting for information, disallowing the enemies to flank my teammates to the CT, and I'm gonna play the retake of the B side if my teammates are already stacking and gambling on A side. This is always smoked 100% even gold. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, we cannot miss a timing onto the enemy that is maybe lurking through the CT. Or enemy that is lurking to kill us. If you lose the timing, it is 10,000 times worse than losing the sight. Actually, if you lose the information.
My ult ready.
You see how this is such an unfavorable position in which she put herself right now. Like, extremely unfavorable position. Like, enemies can creep up onto the site. Enemies can be in CT killing the KO right now. Enemies can be anywhere. And we have zero info.
Coming.
Don't repick. Don't. Oh no. Okay. In this round, She had a bit of luck. The gamble worked in her favor. No problem. Now, in this situation, here, like, there is no right play. Like, essentially, I would also swing this, and I would also go for the kill, and try to kill one enemy and dismiss myself instantly. After this dismiss, I'm playing with my team. I'm waiting for my teammates to revive the KO, and I'm hitting the site. We're controlling the tower. We're making the pressure onto the enemies. By a pure existence on tower, we can use the layers to additionally apply the pressure onto the enemies on site. But the worst thing that we can do right now is re-pick this angle alone without our teammates that are rotating.
Cutting their vision. Cutting their vision.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Like this is extremely well played from everyone. Well played, well played, well played, well played.
You want to
Even though I would have played from the CT 100%. For the 100% information where the enemies lurked up in that round.
play? Let's play.
Definitely, like, I need to recommend you guys to play a bit more operator on Fracture. Like, op is it's so easy to get a kill, you know, by abusing this angle. Your teammate can boost you up here, you know, if your teammate is crouching, he can boost you up here. This off angle here. This area of the map you can hold like in 3 different ways. Like, you can hold this off angle with a dismiss. You can hold this position. You can hold this position. Or you can go for the aggro peak. Like, a main area of the map you can hold in 2-3 different ways. Like, you know, you can wait for the enemy's utility and then peek the enemies, take a kill. You can peek the enemies and take a kill. Like, essentially, if you have money for op, try to practice the op on Fracture. I suck at holding the tight angles. You know, aim training, deathmatch, practice range, and the more times you're holding those angles in the game, the faster you're gonna realize how to actually react on these angles.
Spike down, attacker spawn.
Good night,
Last player standing.
Zopikele.
Spike planted. Finished.
Her crosshair placement and angle clearing is actually really good, like, and the flicks are not bad. Like, the major problem are those micro recorrections, like, nothing else in the aim. I mean, this round, her teammates lost this, like, there is no way winning this, like, I mean, what the fuck that Yoru did, like,
You want to play? Let's play.
there's no winning this round. Sage is AFK, this guy is not supporting the Yoru.
Spike down, attacker spawn.
No. Like, there's nothing better she could have done. Only in the second round. If you win the first round, I can recommend you to play the Spectre instead of the Stinger. But in every other round, during the game, every E-Core Halby round, you should be prioritizing the Stinger over the Spectre. Stinger is just better than Spectre against the enemies that have the Vandals and Phantoms. Statistically better. And definitely try to pay attention more during your gameplay on these type of patterns that enemies are abusing. Like if enemies are already moving in this AB pattern and it's so easy for you to read that, position yourself in that way.
Launching smoke.
Powerless.
Time to jump down.
Spike planted.
Reloading.
That gunfight, Stinger wins. Trust me, boys. Like basically, Stinger is like time to kill with the Stinger is just lower than with the Spectre. Once you learn how to play this weapon over this shit, you'll find 10 times more impact in your matches. Like if you already want to play a Spectre, play Stinger. As I said, like the only round where Spectre is better than Stinger is against the enemies that are Eco and Halbai. Very good that we're playing how am I playing Bulldog? Okay. One rule. If two of your teammates are forcing, force with them. Like, if two of your teammates are forcing, force with them. If only one teammate is idiot, and he is forcing, then don't force.
Player stand.
Can't say the same for you fragile humans.
Okay, in this round, playing the Bulldog with Light fine, like, whatever. Full autopilot mode, not giving a shit. Like, for an example, if I have a Bulldog, first of all, in this round, it was really good that she played on the A site. Why? Because enemies have been abusing the AB pattern of pushing, and it was very, very predictable that enemies are gonna push the A site in this round. Second mistake. In this round, because I have a Bulldog, I would have tried to play a bit more longer range gunfight. So, without peeking the enemies. Like, I would probably be holding some kind of an angle like this, trying to rip the heads of the enemies apart, or some kind of an angle like this. And just play one burst fire, and then maybe re-peek the enemies with automatic fire. I mean, ADS of the Bulldog is so good, it's actually insane. One bullet to the head, one bullet to the body on any distance, enemy is dead. If I'm already going for the peak in this area of the map, I'm never gonna make the footsteps. If you make the footsteps, you're already in a disadvantage. So, if I'm going here, I'm gonna go slowly, get ready for the peak, and do this. So, this type of a fight, I'm never going to fight with automatic fire. It's way too risky. Impossible to win it with a Bulldog. Borderline impossible. Like this type of a fight, we want to fight with like this. So I'm peeking the angle with a fast peek, and I'm ADSing in the same time as I'm getting revealed from this angle. Bam, 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 bam. They won this round. What the hell? Listen, guys. If you have a good read onto the enemy's pushes and how enemies are playing, don't be afraid to even stack the bomb site sometimes. Like, if enemies are already easily predictable for you, and enemies are just repeating themselves in the circle,
My ult ready.
it's okay. Absolutely okay. It's fine. Like right now, the chances are 80% that enemies are gonna push B site. Let's play the retake of A. No problem. Meow! Formula 1.
Then what's okay for me, Sage? Okay.
Smoke's down. All here.
Also, one huge mistake that was happening in this specific game is like if you have Sage in the team, like try to tell that Sage, if she's not your duo queue partner, to always do the wall here, like every single round. It's fine. If your Sage is a duo, then she should be changing that wall, you know, depending where we think the enemies are gonna go. Like maybe for the A main, maybe for the B main and this area and the arcade area of the map. But if you have a solo queue Sage in the team, just tell her to do that wall 24/7. This angle here, I personally don't like it that much, but, you know, it's fine. The only problem is, like, when you're playing this angle, you can only play it if you have the arcade control. If you don't have anyone in arcade, you're kind of fucked in the ass, to be honest. In this example, once again, I would have just stayed in the CT and held both arcade and the B main push. Unlucky, I mean... that was kind of fucking us up in this specific VOD. Like, you don't need to be IGL in your team, but like even if you're playing, you know, even if your main agent is Reyna, like you should have a very high game knowledge on other characters on a specific map that should be doing some kind of a utility for you. Like smokes were terrible on both attack and defense. Sage walls were abysmal. Like that Sage wall is kind of very important, like on B set of fracture, and something that you need to have. Like in here, if I wanted to rotate on the A, like you need to do a bit slower rotation because we don't have 100% info how many enemies are there. Players on fracture usually love to lurk and flank quite a lot, and if I was rotating here, I would definitely do it a bit more slower, just a bit more methodical, you know, like I would try to first clear the B main there, clear this slowly, clear that slowly, and now I would move into the CT, knife out, run. Anyways, in that scenario, I would not rotate unless I'm 100% certain that enemies are pushing the A site. Like, even if your teammates are yelling at you, they're pushing A, let's rotate. Don't rotate until you're 100% certain that enemies are committed to that bomb site. Your teammates are gonna yell at you that enemies are pushing A, even if there's like 2 enemies pushing the A site. So, until you see the spike, and unless enemies take some crucial area of the map from your teammates, like, for example, you see that enemies are already, I don't know, here, already here, already here, or they have taken maybe this control, then rotate. But, you know, and also you guys, like, come on, stop yelling like that enemies are pushing something when there's like maybe 1 enemy. Most likely, if they place the smokes, they're committed. True. True.
Brim, go ahead, Brim. Go ahead. Brim?
On fracture, if you're playing some kind of a bomb site where your teammates are doing the aggressive play, follow the teammate. Don't play passively on site. Like, if you already have a Yoru that is pushing dish like this, amazing. Follow that Yoru, lock into him. Of course, don't die. Use him as a bait or as a trade tool, and try to work out the dish together with him. Like on fracture, the worst thing you can do is playing passively, both A site and B site, and not fighting for any map control. We need to fight for the A main. We need to put the pressure in dish or into the arcade. Generally speaking, like, one of the worst things you can do in solo queue, like, when your teammates are doing something proactive, like they're pushing some area of the map, you're staying on the site. You're just useless. like, if my Yoru is already doing this, just go with him. Trade him.
Spike here, spike here.
Spike down A.
Can you hear me, Sage? Can you hear me?
Even if you leave the A set open, so what? Play the retake of A. At least you're using his life. And at least, like, you know, you're doing something proactive. Like you're having higher chances of winning that round. It's better for you to play a 5 versus 5 retake than that you're dying and now you're defending the site 4 versus 5. Actually, you're alone on the site and enemies are just stomping you.
Brim, go here, Brim. Go here. Brim!
Feeling sight.
Nice one.
One enemy remaining.
Nice one.
To be honest, this jet can be anywhere, man. Like, this jet can be CT, like, literally, you know. You're actually in the most amount of danger. Right now, like, you know, if this happened for me, I would already pre-assume that that jet is in the CT. And I would probably be holding something like this for my teammates. You know, I'll be holding this and holding this. This and this. Because if this jet goes all the way here, she can fuck my teammates in the ass. Because they are already pre-assuming that you are controlling this area of the map. There is a potential for that. Remove all of the timings, all of the luck in your gameplay. Like, with better positioning, better movement, and better utility usage, you can remove, like, almost every single luck factor and timing factor in the game. What is the Sage doing, bro? Okay. On the attacker side, B push worked the best, so very good job that we're pushing B. Let's go B. The only thing, as I said, you know, in every single round, I already talked about this topic, but whatever. In every single round where enemies have economy for the operator, or if your teammates are not using any utility to push the enemies there, I recommend you to use the flash like this. It's never wasted if it is used to protect your teammates' lives. Then from this position, swinging the enemies, jump spotting them, and then clearing that angle, that angle, that angle. Moving forward.
Knife deployed. One suppressed.
Feeling sight.
Fully smoked.
That's really like the worst thing you can do against the operator. I mean, yeah, maybe you can get a kill like that, but don't do that. Like, if I don't know what to tell you about this. Like, basically, you know, Peeker's advantage in this game is so high, and the bullet inaccuracy is extremely RNG in Valorant, where doing something like this is sometimes okay, but not against the operator.
Feeling sight.
Fully smoked. Molly.
Last player standing.
So pretty much we want to beat our aggressive teammates that are going to likely die. Not like if your teammates already want to be aggressive. Like, yes. Like, but I don't call it a bait. I'm calling it abusing the mentally ill place of my teammates. Think about it. Like, it sounds better than baiting. Like, if I think that my teammates are doing some aggression that is maybe unnecessary or whatever, like maybe it is good, like, I'm gonna let them do their play, but definitely I'll try to use their lives to actually, you know, refrag them and to make their play even more beneficial for our team.
Get out of my way!
Stim beacon down.
Single.
Yo, not again. Is this gonna be W push again? Don't make the footsteps here. Like, if you make the footsteps here, enemies are gonna rip you apart. Oof. Never do this. So you want to aggress the dish area of the map and peek the enemies there. Shift walk, fast peek. Shift walk, crouch peek, anything. Don't sell the sound there.
Enemy spotted A. Target sighted A.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
And when you're doing these jiggle peeks, just try to do them in a way where you're not making a footstep. Abuse the silent step mechanic. So if I'm already here, do it like this. You hear? No footsteps at all. But what you're doing sometimes, you're swinging way too wide. And if you're giving these footsteps to the enemies, this doesn't make any, any sense. That enemy that is peeking you is always in an advantage over you. He can just delete you with a fast swing, peeker's advantage, etc, etc.
I think they rotate.
Go, rotate. I'm watching it.
They go inside.
They got in A, bro. They got in B, bro.
Spike planted.
What the fuck, man?
Enemy spotted B.
One man, Reyna man.
Cutting their vision. My ult. Cutting their vision.
Bro, one arcade.
Cutting their vision.
Bro, one arcade.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about this. I mean, can we call this unlucky? This kill. I mean,
Cutting their vision.
Bro, one arcade.
I mean, if you already see that the guy is spraying literally in front of you, I mean, you don't want to go on his bullet tracers. Right now, go right, try to kill that enemy through the smoke, etc, etc. I don't know, she literally just went onto the enemy's bullet tracers and died. I don't know. I mean, I cannot call it unlucky, but it's autopiloting essentially, nothing else. I mean, if I already see, the precision and the way that the enemy's bullet tracers where the enemy's bullet tracers are traveling, I mean, if the guy is spraying there and I have the smoke in front of myself, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And then I'm gonna tap the spike again, maybe half defuse. Defuse the spike. Either. I think we covered in this VOD quite a lot of things. When it comes to the mechanical parts, I will hit you up on Discord, through Discord messages. I'll send you the training routine, aim training routine, and also we need to discuss, why your micro adjustments suck. Generally speaking, I feel that by playing some other agent after Platinum 1, you would have 10 times higher impact than with a Reyna. Jet, Phoenix, anything. Actually, Jet and Phoenix. I mean, if you already enjoy playing Reyna, Phoenix is the same shit. Just better shit, in my opinion, for team play after the Platinum 1. And essentially, that's it. I mean, we're already 2.5 hours here. I'm done, guys. I'm done. This is my 5th VOD review today. I'm gonna Sudoku myself. Guys, if you want to get VOD review by me, join my Discord server. I'm doing a free VOD review giveaways on every 50 Twitch subs. If you want to get privately coached by me, my coaching sessions are much better than this. I'm just doing this as a, as something to give back to the community, and so that players can realize their problems, you know, without actually paying, you know, extremely enormous amount of money for, I mean, not enormous, like my coaching is not that expensive compared to like Joel's and others, but you know, the whole point of this is like to guide you in a good direction, to showcase you what your main problems are and what you need to primarily fix inside of your gameplay. Join my Discord server for coaching, and essentially that's it from this VOD review. Hopefully we're not gonna get any Reyna again, because Reyna is really boring, but I don't know how the hell we spent 2.5 hours VOD reviewing this. Okay, good.